Yo, back again, people. Yeah, man, this is CC and you're watching CC Sports Lab. Please remember to like, share, and hit that subscription button. Just remember to subscribe, people. It's the most important thing. Yeah, man, people, we're back again here discussing the whole Jamaicans being allergic to qualifications. Yeah, man, Jamaica's biggest allergy is qualifications, right? You will have people who say you can be a mechanic without qualifications, right? You can be a plumber without qualifications. Yes, you gotta have persons in different professions who will be able to do the job and do the job better than some people who are certified. That's a given. Like, nothing is foolproof, because of 100 plumbers and you have some that are not certified, they are going to be better than some that is certified. However, when it is evolving, when the profession is evolving, every profession that has been evolving, whether it be electrician, mechanic, all of these professions, and for example, the vehicles are evolving, then that's where the qualification comes in, because you will be better able to know how to deal with certain type of vehicles, right? And I think that's one of the key things that a lot of Jamaicans do not grasp, that yes, experience is something that you can lean on. However, when it comes down to qualifications, it shows a level of expertise, it builds trust, and it also gives you credibility. It also expands your horizon in terms of employability. And we have to also talk about this thing with the coaching thing, because you hear the Lenny names, you hear Craig Butler, you hear all of these names, right? But Lenny has been a successful coach. We understand that he has the experience. So there's nothing into getting a simple license to verify your credentials, right? Look at it like this. And I think a lot of persons are saying private organizations have the right to hire who they want to hire. Yes, you have the right to hire who you want to hire. But when it comes on to being in a certain organized body, for example, if you're a part of certain statutory companies, or you're going to work on certain financials and you're going to sign off on it, you need to have the requisite qualification. That is from ACCA or CPA, Certified Public Accountant in America, which comes from the organization of AICPA or ACCA themselves. So you need to have these qualifications in order to sign off on a financial statement, right? So because you're a part of the organized body, you can hire anybody to do the accounting work for you. You can hire anybody. However, when it comes down to signing off on it, the person has to have the requisite qualification. So yes, they might have the experience of doing it over the years, but if they don't have the requisite qualification, they cannot sign off on it. So whilst you can hire anybody because it's your company, if the persons, they don't have it and you allow them to sign off on it, you will be penalized, you will be fined. You understand what I say? So it's the same thing for a lot of professions. And I know that a lot of persons would not want to send their family member or anyone to a doctor that doesn't have the requisite certification. Imagine a doctor has been doing surgery for years, over 10 years, but he has to be continuously doing continuous professional education, or CPEs as people call it, because he has to continue to upskill himself and show that he still is up to date with the modernized medicine, modernized technology. He has to show that he's up to date with these things. Otherwise, they will lose their license. This is not something that is permanent or for life in terms of you practicing. It's the same thing with an accountant. You have continuous professional education and you have a license that is renewable, right? In terms of the CPA, Certified Public Accounting license, that license is renewable, and you have to show and demonstrate a certain level of continuous professional education to show that you are up to date and up to standard with the modernized techniques in the accounting realm. And it's the same thing when you come on to like coaching. You have to do the same things, get the badge, get the license, and do the CPEs, the continuous professional education. So whilst you might agree with some people that you cannot force people to hire certain individuals, when you come under organized body, that organized body, for example, FIFA and CONCACAF, the sub bodies that are CONCACAF, and then you have like the federations. When you come under these organized body, you have to abide by these organized body rules and what they intend to do in terms of keeping the integrity of the sport, or raising the level of integrity and credibility when it comes down to the profession. So if the federation is trying to raise the credibility and the level of the level of integrity when it comes down to football in Jamaica and raise the standards of football. The coaching qualifications, it ties into it. It's a global thing, and it has been something that has been neglected over the years in Jamaica. Did you know that if you had played 40 games for Jamaica, had 40 caps, you could have coached any Premier League team? So you didn't have to have any form of training or anything. You just play football, and then after you don't play football, you go and coach. Some persons who have played football don't make good coach. And that's what it is. Diego Maradona, for example. It doesn't make an excellent coach. But you have some who played football and makes excellent coaches. But some are not elite footballers, but they make excellent coaches, right? Pep Guardiola was a very good footballer. And he's an excellent coach. He's a far better coach than he was a football player, even though he was very good, right? Jose Mourinho was not. I don't think Jose Mourinho has played professional football, right? However, he's an excellent coach. So you can see those nuances. And then you have Zinedine Zidane, who was a brilliant football player, and he made a brilliant manager as well. So whilst there are certain aspects to it, there's also other aspects. Carlos Alberto Pereira, who won the World Cup with Brazil, never played football, but he won the World Cup, and he made a brilliant coach. Right? I think Arrigo Sacchi, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't have an extensive footballing background, but he was a brilliant coach for AC Milan. So, yes, the coaching badges gives you that level of pride, and it gives you that standing. You understand? It's a badge of honor, as Sir Alex Ferguson would have said. It's a badge of honor where it shows that you have acquired a certain level of skill set in tactical analysis, in player development. You understand what I say? So it comes down to all of these things: tactical analysis, player development, motivation, leadership. All of these things ties into it. It shows that you are able to run a group of players, or you are able to run team sessions. You are able to organize a body of players into achieving a set goal. So whilst you would have won several other youth tournaments, and that's experience, the more modernized the game gets, is the more these things become important. And if you notice with Jamaica has been to a few World Cups both on the male and the female side. And to my knowledge, Wendell Downswell is the only Jamaican who have taken a male Jamaican team to the World Cup, which is 2011 U17 team, right? And Wendell Downswell at that time was quite possibly the most trained, or it was the highest trained coach in the island at that time, right? So it goes to show you. And then you have, I think, Lauren Donaldson and the other coaches who would have taken Jamaica women to the World Cup. These coaches have their license as well. These coaches are able to even get jobs overseas in the US market because what? They have the license. So they have proven them skills. Yes, they would have the license. They would have gone and shown the experience in terms of coaching other teams, but they also have the license, which gives them employability. So I don't think a simple qualification, nobody should think anything about a simple qualification, because the qualification raises the level of prestige, and it also raises the standard because more persons will acquire the necessary skill sets to develop players properly. And a lot of people have lamented players not being developed properly. We have had several players that have had talent: the Marvin Morgans of this world, the Alex Marshalls, the Andre Lewis. All of these guys, right, would have had a certain level of talent when they were playing in the youth level, whether it be U16, whether it be Manning Cup, whether it be Dakasta Cup. And persons have complained about them not being developed properly. Why are they not being developed properly? Because comparing to international standards, the coaches are those persons who would have played football and are imparting what they know, which is a little, from their playing days onto the persons who they are now coaching. You understand? So, but it's a different mindset when you're a player versus when you're a coach. When you're a player, you're in charge of your individual self. And yes, you do teamwork, but you're in charge of your career and your individuality. When you're a coach now, you're in charge of a group of players, and you're in charge of multiple people other than yourself. And you have to think about budget, you have to think about equity, you have to think about togetherness, you have to think about a lot of things that has far more reaching implications than when you were an individual player. You understand? So I think when what it ties back to is that the qualification is important and the experience is important, but the qualification gives you that amount of leverage in the international market, and it also put eyes on Jamaica to show that we are leveling up with the world. You understand? And I think a lot more players would be more properly developed because we have seen a lot of talents in the Money Cup. We have seen a lot of talents in the Dakar Cup. And yes, people would have won tournaments with these players. But when it comes down to it, when I really look into it, a lot of these players, when they get the fundamentals, it's enough to propel them to victory in schoolboy football. But it is not enough to get them over the mark in international football because they're going up against other kids that have been trained by certified coaches that have gone through certified training. They are going up against those kids. And when they have gone up against those kids, you know see what happened to the U20 team? 15-0 they get in combined. In the 3 games that they played, they got 15-0. Because we are going up against coaches that are more highly certified and have trained kids that have gone through those type of rigorous training. Whilst we are leaning on talent, are the raw material that the raw skill, the raw innate talent that some of these kids would have possessed. But please remember to leave your comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think on the fact that Jamaicans are allergic to qualifications. I'm CC and I'm out.